it is very important for us to know that what is that causes the earthquakes. Okay, so now we'll deeply discuss about this. There are actually four main points due to which earthquakes occur. And firstly, you have is the volcanic activities. So when we talk about the volcanic activities, the volcanic activity is considered to be one of the main causes of earthquakes. In fact, volcanicity and seismic events are cause and effect of each other. In other words, each volcanic eruption is followed by an earthquake, and many of the severe earthquakes are cause volcanic eruptions. Now, the materials during the process of volcanic eruption try to escape upward, and hence they push the crustal surface from below with great force. This leads to the severe tremors of high magnitude, which depends upon the intensity of volcanic eruption. Now, the violent eruptions of the Krakatoa volcanic between Java and Sumatra islands caused such a severe earthquake that its impact was felt as far as the Cape Horn, that is 12,000 kilometers away. It generated 30 to 40 meters high tsunami waves, which killed more than 36,000 people in the coastal areas of Java and Sumatra. And next down the line is folding and faulting. Folding and faulting actually take place due to the horizontal and the vertical movement in the Earth's crust, means upward and sideward. Okay, these movements cause imbalance in the crustal rocks, which result in earthquakes of varying magnitudes. The sudden dislocation of rock blocks due to the forces of tension and compression. Tension and compression means coming into each other and going away from each other. Okay, cause tremors. Like for example, in Koyana in India, an earthquake occurred in 1967. This was due to the underground activity of fault zones. And similar kind of an earthquake occurred in San Francisco, USA in 1906. It was a faulting in the San Andreas faults. Okay, so this is an example, two examples of folding and faulting. Now, thirdly we come to the hydrostatic pressures. So you are very much confirmed with pressures which are created in the interiors of the earth. Certain human activities such as pumping of groundwater and oil, deep underground mining, blasting of rocks by dynamites, as you have seen in Pitambara granites and all these places, no? Granite is taken out. So these activities, nuclear explosions, water storage and big reservoirs means construction of dams. Okay, huge quantities of water means weight upon the earth at that particular place. Okay, these can cause tremors of serious consequences because the earth makes its own balance. Okay, if we are going to put weight on one side of the earth and the other side is going to, obviously the earth will adjust itself, and these adjustments are due to the hydrostatic pressure and they cause earthquakes. Okay. Next is the plate tectonic theories. As earlier must have heard that the surface of the earth is made up of huge rocks. Now huge rocks means they can be hundreds and thousands of kilometers, one full boulder, and these are called the plate tectonics. Okay. Now this theory has been accepted as the most suitable expansion of the cause of the earth. The crust of the earth is composed of moving plates. The tectonic events are taking place along the boundaries of these moving plates. Major tectonic events associated with these plate boundaries are called folding and faulting. Right? Normally, moderate earthquakes are caused along the divergent plate boundaries because the rate of the movement of plate away from the mid-oceanic ridge is rather slow. Thus, shallow focus about 30 kilometers deep earthquakes are caused along the mid-oceanic ridge. Earthquakes of a higher magnitude and a deeper focus, that is around some 700 kilometers deep, are caused along the convergent plate boundaries. This is due to the collision and the subduction of heavy oceanic plate beneath the lighter continental plate in the atmosphere. This process explains the occurrence of frequent earthquakes along the circum-Pacific and the mid-continental earthquake belts. So, the devastating earthquakes of Bhuj in Gujarat on 26 January 2001 was caused due to the subduction of the Indian plate below the Asiatic plates. Okay. Now children, we are going to talk about the devices that measure the intensity. How do we come to know about the earthquakes? Scientists, how do they find out? So there are two scales which are used. One is the Richter scale and one is the Mercalli scale. Now, when you talk about Richter scale, it is the magnitude or intensity of an earthquake is measured on the Richter scale, which is quite widely used, and it was developed by Charles F. Richter, a US seismologist, in the year 1935. The number indicating the magnitude of intensity of the Richter scale ranges from between 0 to 9. In fact, the scale is an open-ended logarithmic scale and thus has no upper limit or number. On a Richter scale, the vibrations of an earthquake with a magnitude of 2 are 10 times greater in amplitude than those of an earthquake with a magnitude of 1. And the vibration on an earthquake with a magnitude of 8 are 1 million times. This is the measurement how they make. If it is on 2, they multiply it by 10. If it is 8, they will multiply it by 1 million. And that is how they get the intensity of the earthquake. Those of the earthquake with a magnitude of 2, the most destructive earthquake which has been recorded till now with a magnitude of 8.9 that occurred in Chile in 1960. Okay. Now, other scales are also used for measuring the magnitude of earthquakes, which is not quite relevant. The intensity scale commonly used in the United States is called the Mercalli scale. Is one named after an Italian volcanologist, Giuseppe Mercalli. The value on the scale is given in Roman numbers, that is 1 to 12. Okay. Here with these scales.